Dear boys and girls, you can remember very well that I discussed participle as verbal adjective, participle as non-finite verb and participle with a be verb in the cause part. But today's topic of discussion is very interesting, that participle can also use as effect. Obviously, I shall give you some example, but before it, I should remind you of the fact that you should note the definition of participle, that participle is actually a non-finite verb retaining some of the properties of the verb, or participle is a verbal adjective retaining some of the properties of the verb. That means it is either a verbal adjective or a non-finite verb, but does not lose all the characteristics of a verb. Clear? Now, today's topic of discussion is very interesting to note that participle can be used in the effect part too. I am giving you some examples. Please, you may note it down, or you may watch the video again and again to have the idea participle as effect. For example, my sister went out of the room. My sister went out of the room, closing the door with a bang. Closing the door with a bang. That means my sister stepped out of the room first, then he closed the room with a bang or a thud. Clear? So, closing the door with a bang is participle as effect. Clear? Another example I am giving you. I entered the room laughing. I entered the room laughing. That means the first action is I entered the room, then I laugh it almost simultaneously. Then I started laughing. That means with a smile on my face, I entered the room. But the action of entering the room is first, and participle laughing is the second. So it is the participle as effect. Clear? Then I give you third example. For example, the children on their way home started throwing stones at the frogs playing. Actually, for play. For example, the children or the boys, when coming back from school to their houses, started throwing stones at the frogs playing. Actually, The action, the first action is that they started returning home, and the second action is playing. So playing is the participle as effect. Okay. Another example I should give. For example, they escaped the danger, frightening or trembling in fear. Both the senses are correct, both the expressions are correct. They escaped danger, it is the first action, and the second action is that they started trembling in fear or frightening. Okay? So, participle has been used as effect. So participle can be used both as cause and both as effect. Clear? So I want to remind you that when the action is done and another action is taking place, you may use participle as effect. Okay? Now, at the end of my lecture, participle as effect, I remind you that you should subscribe my channel, share it, like it, and I fervently expect from you, because I shall come before you with tidbits of grammar every day. Thanking all of you, and I am hopeful that all of you will subscribe my channel. Thanking all of you. Good night.